All right, so we have another function here. This time it's a cosine function, but we're just going to go through the same process. So first of all, the b value is pi over 4, right? My b value is pi over 4. It's not negative, so I don't have to worry about using symmetry to rewrite it. So the next thing I'm going to do is just find the amplitude and the period. Now, the a value is a negative 5, right? But remember that the amplitude is just the absolute value of that. So the amplitude is equal to 5. All right. Now the b value is pi over 4. All right. So to find the period, so period, I'll just call it p, is 2 pi over b, which is pi over 4. So again, I'm dividing by a fraction, so I'm going to multiply it by the reciprocal. So 2 pi times 4 over pi. And there's a common factor of pi in the numerator and the denominator. And so my period is 8. All right, nice whole number. That's good. All right, so now that I have the amplitude and the period, I can graph my function. All right, so I'm going to draw a y-axis, and I'm going to draw an x-axis, and all right, so this is a y. Now the amplitude is 5, so I'm just going to mark out 5, and I'm trying to make it roughly the same distance, -5 in the opposite direction. And let's see, should we do 2 periods or should we just do 1? Let's do 2. All right, so the period is 8. So let's say this is 8, and then so 2 periods would be 16. So I'm going to go about the same distance over here. So if I want to graph 2 periods, there we go. We got 2. We marked out 2 periods. Okay, I'm just going to start with the first period that goes between x equals 0 to x equals 8. Right, this is my x-axis. So I'm going to break the period into 4 equal parts. So break it in half, and then break the halves in half. So 2, and then we have 6. Okay, that's going to be 1 period. Now, this is a cosine function. It starts at a and ends at a, but our a is negative. So I'm going to start it at a -5 and end it at a -5 after 1 period. Okay, so I'm going to mark out the beginning and end of 1 period. That's where I always start. Okay, and then I go to the middle, right? Now in the middle, I'm going to be at this negative a, right? And again, negative a is the negative of a -5. So I'm going to be a +5. And then I'm going to cross the x-axis at these quarter points. And then I'm just going to connect it with a smooth curve. And then there we go. We've got 1 period of this cosine function. So notice that that negative kind of flips it over, right? All the what's normally positive becomes negative, and negatives become positive. So we're starting at a -5 instead of the +5. And then we can do the same thing for another period if we want to. So let's see, halfway between here is like, it's going to be 12, right? And then, because a quarter period is essentially 2, so I could just go every 2, right? And mark these out, right? Mark the quarter points. And then I can, again, graph another period if I want to. So the period is going to end at when it's at x equals 16, right? Because I'm just adding a period onto the 8, right? So, and then I'm going to, at 12, which is the middle, I'm going to be up at the maximum, and I'm going to cross the x-axis at the quarter points. And then again, I can just connect it up with a smooth curve. All right, so there we have 2 periods of this cosine function graphed. Okay. All right, so the next example, I guess we'll just do it in one example. Next examples, we're going to look at going the other way, where we're given the graph of a function and we want to write a formula. So I'll meet you in the next video.